preparing for a trip takes time and it takes energy. So for the latest tips and apps to help you navigate a new city or even a new country, we've got designer Sarah Gunn with great options. Hello, gorgeous. We're both in Florida. I know. Well, you know what? It's summer. It's fun to get away.
Yes.
And I always say to people, listen, if you're staying, it's the best time to stay if you're in summer. But if you're going, prepare.
Yes.
Prepare so you can have the best trip possible. And I know your favorite city in the whole wide world is London.
It is. Yeah, I lived there many years ago in my pre-kid days.
Yes.
I lived there for a couple of years, and I love it. And I hadn't been back for 13 years until a few weeks ago. Yeah.
And there you are looking gorgeous, just strolling the streets while some random person takes a picture of you in her floral dress and heels. No, but I think we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, because social media has become a big thing. But
yes,
let's start where you should start, which is preparing at home before you get anywhere.
You know what? Researching helps you make the most out of your trip. I really believe that. So you want to research, obviously, everything from flights to hotel deals to places you want to see, and possibly what not to do as well.
Okay.
Because there are things, you know, in certain cities that everyone thinks are really great to go to, but sometimes they're not worth it. Maybe the wait times when you're going there are extraordinarily long. You know, do you want to spend 4 hours waiting in line for an attraction if you're only in a city for 3 or 4 days? I don't.
Right.
Right? So you want to research all of that ahead of time.
Yes.
And see, you know, what interests you, what you're excited to do, that sort of thing.
Now, one thing you said to me, and I thought was such a good point, was figure out what everybody who's traveling really wants to do. Like their one non-negotiable thing.
Yes.
They're going to a certain city, and they must see this museum, or they must see this attraction.
Yep.
Everybody pick one, right?
It's so important because you want everyone in the family to feel like they're getting the most out of the trip, whether you're just going with your partner or bringing the kids along. Yeah, pick 1 or 2 things that are a high priority for everyone on the list, and make sure that you scatter them throughout the trip so everyone feels like they're excited about what they're doing.
Yeah.
So in London, I know my boyfriend really wanted to do the London Eye. So that was his priority. So we made sure that happened. For me, I really just wanted to walk the city. That's my favorite thing to do almost anywhere. I just want to explore and walk around. And then the other one was shopping. Because shopping's really good there.
So you're a shopper.
I'm a shopper. Oh, yeah.
Okay, because that's never on my list when I go away, ever. I don't want to shop. I don't want to buy anything. I'll go to a market, but it's gonna be food. Like food, guys. Like, and that's where Leo and I really bond, because when we go away together, it's like, where are we gonna eat? We want to go to markets, we want to eat, we want to drink, we want to walk the streets, that sort of thing. Like, I love that.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. For me, it would be antique markets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as long as there's some food involved. But yeah, no, there's certain shops in London that I just loved that I had to go back to, and I loved every second of it. Yeah,
totally.
It humored me.
Okay, so you've negotiated that. You figured out what everybody wants to do. Let's talk a little bit about booking the hotel.
Yeah, so that's a really important, obviously, part of the process. It can be very, very expensive. There's so many great sites out there now that allow you to price compare different hotels, and you can search them based on number of stars, based on reviews, based on price point, all of these different factors you can put in place. But what I recommend is once you find a hotel in the area that you want, that's at a price point you want, actually go old school and pick up the phone and call the hotel. Because sometimes they will match the price, and sometimes they will even do better. So we did that when we went to London, and they actually discounted the nightly price, and they threw in a free breakfast.
Oh,
so that's a huge saving in an expensive city, right?
Yes.
So that's completely worth trying.
Okay, good. So pick up the phone, go old school. I love that. First thing to do in every city, according to Sarah Gunn.
Okay. It may not sound very glamorous, but I'm a big fan of the bus tour.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's the first thing you should do. I've done it in every city I've ever been to, I've done the bus tour. In London, I've probably done it 5 times, because anytime anyone came to visit, we hit the bus.
Yes.
It's the most efficient way to see the most of the city and to get an idea of what you really want to go back and take a closer look at too.
That's right.
Right.
So the hop-on, hop-off tours you can often book before you even get there.
Right.
And then you get to see the whole scope of everything. And then either you get off that day and enjoy an area, or you say, okay, tomorrow we go straight to this place, because you've seen it all. And I think it's a great way to do it. And I was so skeptical about it before we did it. We did it in Barcelona, we did it in London. It's a great way to actually see the city.
It really is.
And then you also get the guided tour.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have a live guide on your tour if you can, not a pre-recorded one, because they have so many interesting pieces of information, you know, that they're passionate about the city, that they tell you. Sometimes it's really funny and entertaining. So for example, when we were on ours, we found out the entire royal family would be out at Buckingham Palace a couple of days later when we were still still there. And even though I live there, I'd never seen the royal family, and I'm a huge royalist.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I convinced him to go and wait outside in the sweltering heat so I could do my royal wave to the royal family.
Amazing. And you know, that's one of the things that made your trip.
Totally did, yeah.
Right? You walk away saying, and then we saw the whole royal family out on the balcony. Like, that's very cool. Let's talk a little bit about social media.
Okay, so if you want to find the most Instagrammable spots in a city, there's a few things you can do, because you want to have those beautiful photos as memories and to post on Instagram or wherever. So you can actually hire photographers local to that city. There's actually a site called Flytographer, and they have photographers in all these different cities, and you can go on there, you can look at the photographers that are available, you can look at their portfolios, you can connect with them. It's not very it's not very expensive. You can do a mini photo session with them. If you're with someone who does take good photos, then do it yourself. Honestly, you can search online, just type in most Instagrammable spots in London or whatever city you're going to. You will get a ton of information about that, and you can plot it out in advance. My one recommendation for that, because we did do this, is go really early before the crowds get there, before any of the stores are open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can actually chill out and get some shots without people in the background of all of them.
Exactly.
So not as expensive as you might think, and some people might think that's very superfluous, but think about the family and the mom is never in the pictures.
Right.
Right? Or the dad is never in the pictures, or there's somebody in the family that is never in the picture.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have that one family shot that everyone's in. So it might make sense to actually spend that money and have that photographer.
It's a nice memory.
Getting into different attractions, like you mentioned, there might be a 3-hour wait. What if you want to get into, you know, the Vatican? There's a lot of people.
That's worth the wait.
There are ways to do it, though. You can go online, can't you?
You can go online, and you can, you know, get passes that help you bypass lines and that sort of thing, or give you a discount on several different activities all grouped together, which is really, really great.
Yes, we did that for sure. And then what they did is they give you a window to be there.
Smart.
And then instead of waiting in that line, we just booked online, and then we showed up in our window and bypassed the entire line.
Amazing.
Yeah, to go into the Sagrada Familia. Like, that is
beautiful.
a line for hours and hours and hours. So that is great. Let's talk a little bit about souvenirs.
Yes.
So you don't want to buy the souvenir that's, I went to so-and-so and all I got is this lousy shirt.
You know what? No, you don't. Because I've been to a lot of cities. That's a great thing about living in Europe for a few years, is that I was able to travel a lot. And you want the souvenir to be something that you're going to enjoy long after that trip has gone away.
Yes.
And you don't want it to end up in your yard sale next summer, right? So think about things that you're going to use on a regular basis. For me, it's art. I buy a lot of art when I go to different places. So I've got a piece here. This is actually from Prague when I went there, again, before I had children.
Beautiful.
And so I tried to find art pieces of places I actually saw when I was in the city. So this piece here is from the square in Brussels, in Belgium, which is absolutely the most beautiful spot. This time, I bought clothes, you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. But like I said, I'm a huge royalist, and I drink tea every day. So I did get a commemorative mug of the royal wedding this year, and I will think about them every time I have my cup of tea. Yeah, 2 or 3 times a day.
Your Harry and Meghan cup. I love it. Okay, so do some prep before you get there. And then you will have actually a better time, and everyone will come away from the vacation thinking, we got a good vacation out of that time, right? You're spending the money, you might as well prepare.
Oh, I agree completely.
Thank you, Sarah.